Hey guys, this is Marcus with Push Square, and because it's October and we're coming up on Halloween, I thought you guys might be interested in some horror games you could check out. I'm going to be going through a few different types of horror games, so hopefully something piques your interest that you have not played before. So, starting off with the basics, if you're in the mood for a good old-fashioned first-person survival horror experience, some of the best options on PS4 include Resident Evil 7, which can be played with PSVR or on a regular TV. This release in the long-running series balances the first-person hide-and-seek format of modern horror titles with the out-and-out action of later Resident Evil games, making for a highly enjoyable campaign. Alternatively, Alien Isolation is a more subdued option. You play as the daughter of Ellen Ripley as you're being hunted by a single xenomorph in a game of cat and mouse through retro sci-fi locales. And another safe bet for hide-and-seek style gameplay would be Outlast 2. This sequel's night vision camcorder gameplay makes a vision a commodity determined by your camera's battery life, and the cult religious setting is very unsettling and includes a lot of ridiculous shock value throughout the storyline. And of course, I have to bring this up when talking about modern horror games. If you can still get your hands on a PS4 with PT installed, it is still one of the most unique and scary experiences in video game history and should not be missed out on. On the flip side, if a game with a greater action focus is what you are looking for, you could check out Resident Evil 4, which is one of the greatest action games of all time. Maybe over 12 years old, but it's still an absolute must-play. This mission to save the president's daughter is filled to the brim with encounters against diseased villagers, and while the actual scares are in short supply, there's a definite tension attached to the shootouts and resource management in this game. If you want something more ominous and or challenging, an excellent choice would be Bloodborne. It's an action RPG heavily inspired by H.P. Lovecraft and gothic horror from the developer behind Dark Souls. With some truly warped enemy designs and a frightfully steep learning curve, this game will present an unrelenting journey of delight and disgust in equal measure. And if you don't want the stress of evading or fighting enemies, we have a few options that are a bit more relaxed but still creepy in their own right. For example, you could check out Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, where you investigate an abandoned village, unfolding the events that led to the disappearance of hundreds of people. When you pair the stunning scenery with evidence of a deadly disease, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture adopts a very disturbing guise that definitely makes it a game worth checking out. And a more intentionally scary game worth looking into is Layers of Fear. It's a tale of artistic obsession that's all about perspective. With its spooky Victorian setting and manipulation of art and reality, there's something undeniably neat about the way this title toys with your expectations. And while it's more of a ghost train than a mechanically interesting experience, it's still very much worth the ride if you're looking for some scares. And if you want more puzzles to keep things interesting, perhaps take a look at Inside, which is the spiritual successor to Limbo. Inside takes you on a tour through a harsh facility intent on taking your life. The endgame revelations here are both ridiculous and repulsive, and piecing together the narrative while solving the indie adventures puzzles make this release a real standout. And if you don't want to be alone and have a party of friends with you who also want a scary time, these last two games might be up your alley. The PS4 exclusive game Until Dawn immediately comes to my mind. It takes from the adventure game format popularized by Quantic Dream and Telltale. It delivers a fright fest that's both gruesome and laughable in equal measure. It plays out like a campy slasher film where the story branches in different directions based off you or your group's choices. And you control a comprehensive cast of stereotypical teenagers, avoiding or instigating gory deaths and questionable decisions throughout. And don't forget that the isometric online multiplayer game Friday the 13th is still free for PlayStation Plus members until next week or so. So I would expect that game to have an appropriately timed boost around this time of year as well. But yeah, hopefully this rundown has given you some ideas for what to play over the next few nights. Of course, if you have any other horror games that we missed out on here, give them a shout out in the comments. Give this video a like and subscribe to Push Square for more PlayStation videos in the future. And see you next time.